where are the public land boundaries, and what activities can I do in a certain area of public land? There are millions of acres out there with opportunities for you to enjoy, but unfortunately, just because it's public doesn't mean you can always access it, or certain activities may be restricted on a certain piece of land. Penalties for not obeying land laws can be severe, so let's use Outly to get us pointed in the right direction to stay on the right side of the law. This video will show the land layer on the Outly mobile app, where you can download maps and take them offline. But the layer is also available on the web map if you want to use a larger screen to plan your adventure. First, enable the land layer, which is represented by a tree icon in the layer menu. As with the other layers, selecting the main toggle at the top will enable all of the sub-layers below. So we see how that works. But now let's turn that main toggle off and toggle each sub-layer on individually so we can see what they each represent. First, we have public lands. The little asterisk there is a reminder that just because it's public doesn't mean you can access it or do whatever you want there. You need to check the specific regulations for the parcel of land you'll be visiting before you head out. But here's a quick overview. National Forest and BLM land is typically open to public access in most activities such as dispersed camping, fishing, and hunting. Check the Outly Trails and Roads layer to see allowed use and dates for roads and trails in the area. Restrictions are typically posted on the ground in the area if they exist, but because the regulations vary by land parcel and they're subject to change, I recommend tapping the land area you're interested in on the Outly map. This will give you some basic info about access and let you know which Forest Service Ranger District or BLM field office manages that land. For example, this one is BLM and it's managed by the Colorado River Valley Field Office. So I'll jump over to Google and enter that to get the latest info straight from the source. I'm interested in dispersed camping, so I can go to the BLM site for this field office to find more detail, such as contact info and details for dispersed camping. So jumping back into Outly, next we have national parks. They are generally more restrictive when it comes to dispersed camping, hunting, and off-roading, but there are some exceptions. For example, 59 of the 390 national parks use hunting to manage populations, providing hunters with additional access to 300 million acres of national park land, mostly in Alaska. Then we have state and local lands. Access and activities for both of these types really depend on the state, the city, or the county, but they're generally more restrictive than National Forest and BLM. As I showed before, tap the land parcel you're interested in on the Outly map, then Google the name of that specific area to find the latest details directly from a government source. Finally, we have 3 more land types. Wildlife refuges and hatcheries, which are managed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, tribal lands, which are managed by each Native American tribe, and DoD and DOE lands, which are Department of Defense and Department of Energy. These lands are usually more restricted. Don't get me wrong, some of these land areas provide excellent outdoor recreation opportunities that shouldn't get overlooked, but you gotta check with the specific land manager of each location to see what the rules are. Next, let's toggle on wilderness areas. Wilderness areas are portions of national forest, BLM, or national park lands that are preserved in their natural state and human activity is kept minimal. They're restricted to horse and foot traffic only. No wheeled devices, including carts or mountain bikes, are allowed. There are dedicated wilderness areas which are preserved by an act of Congress, and wilderness study areas that are managed as wilderness but they aren't officially protected by Congress. Both types are included in the Outly layer because we believe in protecting and preserving both of these land designations. With some effort and some planning, these are great places to get away from crowds for backpacking, hunting, and fishing. Finally, we have inventoried roadless areas, which make up about 1/3 of all national forest lands. Road construction and timber harvesting is not allowed in these areas, and they provide a wide range of habitat types and biological strongholds for many wildlife species. Native plant and animal communities tend to be more intact in roadless areas than in roaded areas of similar size. Well, that gives you a summary of the info packed in the Outly land layer for whatever outdoor activity you're planning. View public land boundaries. Select parcels on the map to view details such as the parcel name, size, manager, and access. Then use that info to confirm the specific regulations or restrictions for that parcel before you head out there. Finally, on the mobile app, we can download an offline map so we can gauge our location against the boundaries and view parcel info when we're out in the woods without any cell or Wi-Fi service. Just a reminder that all of the layers are included in the offline map, whether or not you have them turned on when you initiate the download. So you'll always be able to get the info you need from Outly when you're out in the backcountry. Just be sure to download that region in advance before you head out there. So get out there and enjoy your public lands. Be respectful and check regulations in advance for the area you plan to visit. I'll see you out there.